What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. So in today's episode, we are going to tackle the topic in regards to PvP in Pokemon Go. Is it dead? Is there a way to revive it? What are some of the issues? And then also, what are some of the solutions? So I do think that there is quite a bit going on, but I have to say for myself, I've actually enjoyed playing PvP. There are definitely a couple things that I would want to tweak as far as like barriers to entry into it, but I'm actually enjoying it. I know that some of my friends are as well, so I don't think that this system is necessarily doomed, but we do have quite a bit to cover. I also have a YouTuber by the name of Lucky Buns who will also be on the channel, and we'll be doing a little bit of a discussion. So if you do enjoy this and want to check out some of his content, make sure to check out the link in the description. But with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So we do have Lucky Buns on the line. First things first, I want to just say, thank you for joining in on the channel. I personally really do enjoy Lucky Buns content. You cover some things that I think should be covered. I want to say, like, when you covered the terms of service and stuff, I thought that was awesome, So I just want to say thank you. Definitely a fan of your channel and glad that you're on.
Pleasure's all mine, dude. Thank you for having me.
But today, we are here for PvP. So basically what's happened is a lot of content creators have voiced their concerns, not only for just their channel and views related to it, but also just the general interest in PvP may not be where it was expected. I'll be honest, I thought that PvP was going to be a game changer. It was going to bring in a whole new group of people who have either played Pokemon Go a long time ago and quit, they'll come back, or just a new group of people, pending on whether or not this ended up being competitive. So with all of this, we really need to break down what kind of the purpose of this is, and we really have 4 different target audiences that we really need to look at from a PvP perspective. First, we have I tried it and I liked it. Secondly, we have tried it and disliked it. Then we have didn't try it and wouldn't like it. And then finally, I didn't try it, but don't worry, I wouldn't like it. So Lucky Buns is actually going to give us a real life example of a situation where someone who plays Pokemon Go just simply doesn't want to play PvP.
Right, so it's not just even one person. A lot of people in my local Pokemon Go community have been playing this game for the past 2 years. And they've been doing raids, they've been doing shiny hunting, rare hunting, but in no way was a competitive feature getting added in something that they were looking forward to. Like the reason why they played is to just collect. And for a lot of players in this game, I feel like that is sort of, what's projected. It's not so much that, like they need a competitive aspect, because not everyone is a competitive player.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with this video. We are not trying to convert everyone over to PvP. If you don't want to play PvP, then by all means, don't do it. But the 2 target audiences that we really do want to convert over is the group that's I tried it and I disliked it. And then I didn't try it, but I probably would like it. We just simply have to get them into it. So the first thing that I actually think is a little bit of a barrier to entry is simply not knowing whether or not people are online or not. And so Trainer Tips actually had some thoughts on this as to whether or not Niantic would consider doing this in the future. So let's go ahead and roll the clip.
The issue with people wanting to see when their friends are online is that I don't think Niantic really intended for that to be the main way that people battle. They limited it to Ultra and Best Friends because they want some significant amount of time investment. People are asking for random online battles or some kind of online matchmaking. I don't think that's something that Niantic is really seriously considering as an option for PvP. Remember, this is a social game.
So hearing that, I actually think that is a little bit of a voice of concern, because you have Niantic wanting to promote this atmosphere of being social. At the same time, it seems to only be from one facet, and that's in a physical social sense. But at the same time, though, there's also an online social scene that I do think is neglected at least slightly, and having something as simple as online, offline, I can go do it. I really do believe that more people would get in there and play PvP, and you would definitely see some numbers go up from that. So just kind of like covering that, that's a pretty simple thing. The next thing is something that Lucky Buns is going to cover, and that's just more of the glitches slash just issues that we've had in the actual PvP mechanics. So first things first, Lucky Buns is actually going to give the example of just the invite glitch that's been going on.
Right. So for those of you guys who don't know what the invite glitch is, basically when you send your friend an invite and you accept the invite, or sorry, when they accept the invite, it doesn't actually take you to the PvP screen. And of course, this happens vice versa. When you receive an invite and you accept, you're just kind of stuck in the Pokemon screen, right?
Right. You get stuck in a limbo where it's just, are you sending an invite? No, I'm sending an invite. No, wait, I already sent one. And then when you do accept it, it ends up not going anywhere. So that needs to be addressed. Something else that Lucky Buns mentioned to me as well was just kind of like the timing issue. Maybe you have experienced this. So he's going to talk about the importance of how big of a deal it is to get everything like on sync with each other and how precious just a couple of seconds can be.
Right. So in a competitive aspect, every second counts. In PvP, if your opponent has a 1 or 2 second, head start against you, that could be the deciding factor for the match. And so ultimately, these kinds of delays are something that really need to get worked out by Niantic in order for the competitive, PvP system to really work well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could see that being addressed over time. I do think that they are already doing things to try to make that possible. I actually uploaded a PvP video just the other day, and I realized that I got a lot of those ghost hits, and I do think it was because of kind of like the timing issue that's been going on. So hopefully that can be addressed. We basically have one more thing that we want to talk about, and that is kind of the reward system. I guess Lucky Buns and I would, he would probably agree with me to say that a lot of people are trying to play PvP simply to get themselves the Sinnoh Stone. I don't agree with that, I wish that wasn't the case, but do you think that that's what's actually happening?
I definitely do think that's happening, but that's also because of the way that Niantic actually rolled out the Sinnoh Stone. At first, you were getting it every time, guaranteed from the 7-day research, which was fine, People didn't love it.
It was taken away.
Right, exactly. People didn't love it, but it was still consistent. And, and then ever since it got taken away, it's like, well, how do I get the Sinnoh Stones? And now since PvP was launched, you can get a Sinnoh Stone as a reward. We don't know the odds of getting the Sinnoh Stone. Some players get it more often than others. But essentially, for people that do not even care about PvP, the whole incentivizing is just because, you can actually get a Sinnoh Stone to evolve your Gen 4 Pokemon that you've been preparing for the past 2 years.
Exactly. You've got this group of people being forced in some ways to play PvP, and they don't even care about it, so they're gonna pull up an alternate account. They're gonna just battle between each other and just be another checklist thing that they do for the day. So as far as a recommendation that we both have for Niantic, the first one is actually in PvP, extend the pull outwards beyond just the Sinnoh Stone. Don't make that the main focal point. We would love some TMs, we would love some rare candies, and then at the same time, if you put the Sinnoh Stone into other things, for example, as some type of raid reward, all of a sudden it benefits people just wanting to play the game. And I know that would benefit people playing PvP, would also benefit people who just want to play the game and not necessarily focus on PvP. I'm just a little worried that Niantic is really trying to push PvP, get people in to that system, try it out, but I just don't think that it is necessarily for everyone. But anyways, I want to say thank you so much for Lucky Buns joining the channel. We're actually going to film a video on his channel as well where we discuss kind of like these types of topics. So if you did enjoy this type of discussion and want to see more on it, definitely head over to his channel. A link will be in the description. But if you did enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock. Oh, oh.